It's like I'm not getting to take like a snapshot of me anymore. It tries to take a picture, but it doesn't really. It just comes up with this foggy page. Anyway, hi guys, welcome to the channel of love. We're back. I feel like more educational this reading will be. I really chose the power of intention because I feel like it's like, let me give you something that's kind of going to be good for you. You can go away with, and it's like, oh, that's good. That's good. Good stuff. Okay, so I've got the Law of Attraction cards. And then we have the two decks that fell onto the floor, Sacred Spirit reading cards and the Heal Yourself reading cards. We're going to start with these. Your Sacred Spirit. What I've been doing in my absence is actually supporting the sunflowers. Now, I want to take like a really nice snapshot of my sunflowers. And I had the urge to do it maybe about a week ago. Maybe not that long ago. And I had this feeling, it's okay, it can wait. It's not like they're going to be like knocked over overnight. Well, you know what happened, don't you? Because I had that thought of them being blown over overnight. That's exactly what happened. And I've just gone out there to actually support them. At all. So I've just been out there supporting the sunflowers. Kundalini Rising 22. It's interesting because we saw number 44 in the last reading, and I've been charging, and 44% is what battery power I have. So this is half of that, the Kundalini Rising. Cynthia, timing. Just walked back from dropping Bubs at school door. Come back to a baby chipmunk under my car. How cute. Politely asked for him not to go into the car. He looked at me and went to the bush. Laugh out loud. So much talking. I love it. You don't need to you just need to talk to them, don't you, the animals, and they respond. Okay. Love. They respond well to love. Politely asked for him not to go into the car. He looked at me and went to the bush. Good little chipmunk. Cynthia, off to work now. Coffee date. Drive it is. Coffee date drive. Okay, should we talk about the Kundalini? We'll find out more about the Kundalini Rising. Cynthia also found a key at the crosswords. We didn't pick it up though. At the crosswords or crossroads? Thought about it, then thought, you best not. Okay, so found a key, thought about picking it up. We're just looking for the signs here. I thought, best not. Could be the key to the mansion. This could be your like brand new dream home. Best not pick it up because it might not be for me. Okay. Crossroads. 22. Kundalini Rising. Let's look for the signs. I love it. It's your choice. Ignite your passion for life. Kundalini energy is non-denominational. It resides within every person, regardless of their culture, religion, or location. Often visualized as a great snake, this serpent of Kundalini energy has been coiled around the base of your spine since birth. Awakening Kundalini causes the energy to ignite and rise through the chakras. It lights up each chakra, giving each one an energetic boost along its way, continuing towards the higher crown chakra and beyond. I feel extremely unpleasant in like this area. It just feels a bit knotted and twisted. Let's Kundalini Rising. Rising Kundalini can trigger positive and negative experiences. A spontaneous awakening can be triggered by extreme events in your personal life, such as abuse or trauma, accidents, major life events, extreme stress, and drug use. Being unprepared can leave you feeling lost in life, overwhelmed, depressed, or fearful as the body and brain struggle to comprehend its intensity, choosing to restrict its movement. In a more controlled environment, yoga practice, intense energy work, and meditation can also release this potent energy. If you have a limited ego structure and are ready to surrender to your Kundalini, you will pass through this experience with minimal complications. Ultimately, how you receive this awakening depends upon your outlook on life. My little bits of hair sticking up. Oh no, I don't want to. Ultimately, how you receive this awakening depends upon your outlook on life. Continual spiritual work is recommended now to remove any self-restrictions you may have in your life. Right now you are heading into unfamiliar territory. Empathy for others increases while the interest in your own life begins to step into the shadows. As you begin to realign your life, you may be even asking, who am I? Releasing patterns and conditions the self has placed on the psyche, now is the time to realign your being to your unique blueprint. Currently you are dissolving personal patterns that are no longer needed. If it is not serving you at the highest level, it will soon be removed. The release of Kundalini energy can herald great change. Assess the success of your coping strategies during stressful and emotional periods. Forever changed by your experiences, reignite your fire and passion for life by connecting to your inner spark. We can't get through this quickly, it's a process. And you need to pay attention. Okay. Shadow aspect, ambition, rebellious, risk-taking. The sacred crystal is a tiger's eye. The angel assistance is guardian angel Malahel. Removing toxicity, self-expression. And your affirmation, I am my own healer. I hear these messages loud and clear. Okay. What happened to that card? Oh, it's here. I felt like I drew 2 cards. No, only the one came out. Where was that part? I wanted to reread. Ultimately, how you receive this awakening depends upon your outlook on life. We're bookmarking that, okay, we can do that. Heal yourself. And that comes in with the affirmation. What was the affirmation? I am my own healer. I hear these messages loud and clear. Okay, let's have a look at the Heal Yourself Oracle. Temptation. Card number 19. Life is full of temptations, and right now you're being asked to choose the higher path. Your need to prove that you are worthy and important is clouding your true purpose and tempting you to make wrong decisions. Become aware of what is happening in your life right now. Are you feeling bored in a relationship and looking for something outside of your partnership instead of being honest and working on the challenges you are experiencing or moving on? Is there a work opportunity that is tempting you to act without integrity in order to get ahead? Are you using money as an excuse not to follow your heart? This card asks you to focus on the bigger picture, be honest with yourself, and take the higher path. Another opportunity that is much grander than what you have imagined is on its way. Just be open to it and allow it into your life. Give yourself 5 minutes of uninterrupted time. Write down in what area of your life you are being tempted, what choices you have made, and what are the best choices you could make. Rub your hands together, then place them slightly apart from each other. Imagine that you are holding an orange ray of light between your hands. Focus on courage. What does it mean for you to be courageous enough not to buy into temptation? Place your hands on the part of your body where you need courage the most. Send the orange ray there and repeat, I am courageous, and take positive actions that yield the greatest results. Imagine yourself acting courageously and doing what will lead you to the higher path. Let's go to the Law of Attraction cards. Sorry, it's just somebody responding to my missed call. I tried to call them. Okay, the Law of Attraction cards. I am not here to create sameness. Card number 25. I thought there was a bug flying in my coffee. It's not, it was an illusion. I am not here to create sameness. There are as many different worlds as there are perceivers, beings or individuals. Okay, let's read it with flow. There are as many different worlds as there are perceivers, beings or individuals. You are not here to create one world where everyone is the same, wanting and getting the same. You are here to be that which you want to be, while you allow all others to be that which they want to be. Get your head around that. There are as many different worlds as there are perceivers, beers or individuals. You are not here to create one world where everyone is the same, wanting and getting the same. You are here to be that which you want to be, while you allow all others to be that which they want to be. Card number 46, words do not teach, my life experience teaches. Words do not teach, it is life experience that brings you your knowing. Reflect into your own past life experience and begin watching for the correlation between the words you are reading here and the life experiences that you have lived. Have you been mostly thinking, speaking, writing and observing that which pleases you or not? So words do not teach, it is life experience that brings you your knowing. Reflect into your own past life experience and begin watching for the correlation between the words you are reading here and the life experiences that you have lived. Have you been mostly thinking, speaking, writing and observing that which pleases you, or not? Oh, this is a prime example of the last conversation I had with my daughter. So my youngest daughter's away working at the moment, and she was telling me about how quiet it is now, that the children have all gone back to school and it's not as busy and it's boring. And I think I responded then, it was something like, this is how I respond to that. It's like, boredom is stillness. And I don't really say anymore. That's how I respond to that. And I don't like feed into negativity. I allow her to be who she is, but you know, she knows I'm not going to join in, and it kind of becomes apparent in its own time. So she was feeling a bit homesick, so I messaged her last night, and I put, how is my baby today? And her response was, good now that service is over. And I responded, that's good to hear, but between that she sent another paragraph, and that said about how they were so busy that they had to shut down taking food because they wasn't able to prepare the food. They were just that busy. Had to get a supervisor over from another unit to come and help. And my response was, you complain when it was quiet, so you've got nobody else to blame. And she put, thanks Mum, just what I wanted to hear. And I sent back, love you. And then I woke this morning and she sent me a message. Okay. Along the lines of, I reckon my negativity backfired on me because everyone left me. I had to do all the cleaning up on my own. And outside there is a thunderstorm and I just saw lightning. I haven't responded, but that was her. I reckon my negativity has backfired on me. You don't say. Be careful what you do say. Just what I wanted to hear. It was sarcasm. Thanks, Mum. Just what I wanted to hear, that I've brought this upon myself. Well, you have with your thoughts complaining when it was quiet. Instead of finding time to adjust to that. Well, not finding time, but giving it time. Allow yourself to adjust to that. Okay, what am I going to do now that I'm not doing what preoccupied me? Okay, adjusting. Find the peace. It's just learn to be with oneself in that state of quietness. So you complained, so you can guess what came into your life. Okay. Hecticness. So have you been mostly thinking, speaking, writing and observing that which pleases you, or not? Hi, Summer. Whew. I am segment intending. I am attracting. Getting better. The way you feel is your point of attraction. And so the value of segment intending is that you pause many times during your day to say, this is what I want and expect from this segment of my life experience. And as you set forth those powerful thoughts, you will attract into your experience what you want. Okay. Let's go to the book now. I did feel drawn to go to page number 44. This book, I will make mention of it, although, no, I'm not going to read it because it'll be quite a long segment to read. But at the back of this book, so when I first got this book, I gave a friend of mine a copy of this book and she read from the beginning and said to me, did you know at the beginning, he says that if you go to the back of the book, there's a description of what a self-actualized person, the traits, what they look like, how you interpret them. Is that the right word? Perceive them. How they are perceived. And where I had just gone straight to like chapter 1 and missed the part where he said, in the preface, just if I go here, if you'd like to know how this book might impact you and how you might feel, how you might think, feel and co-create after reading and applying its messages, I encourage you to read the final chapter, a portrait of a person connected to the field of intention, before beginning this journey. You and everyone else, as well as all of life, emanated from the universal all-creating field of intention. Live from that perspective and you will come to know and apply the power of intention. You have an endless stream of green lights before you. Dr. Wayne Dyer, Maui, Hawaii. Coming to us now. So, shall we see where we go with it? I was drawn to go to page 44 because I have 44% on my battery, and the strength card we had, 44, was the number that came out. I don't know why I'm going like that way. We're going forward. The connection. Man is in the process of changing to forms that are not of this world. Grows he in time to the formless, a plane on the cycle above. Know ye, ye must become formless before ye are with the light. Adaptive from the Emerald Tablets of Thoth. Chapter 15. Let's read some of this. Self-actualizing people must be what they can be. Abraham Maslow. One of the best descriptions, videos I've ever seen. I will share it. I'll pop it into the description box of this reading. I'll pop it onto the Channel of Love community tab. It will already be on the Facebook Training Academy, the Channel of Love Training Academy. There's lots of good, awesome stuff on there. Definitely worth a stroll. A stroll? A scroll? A stroll through personal development. Remember that next time you're on Facebook, just scrolling for nonsense. Go to the Channel of Love Training Academy, pick yourself a video and listen. Watch. The signs will be in the videos. Some are to watch, some are to listen. A portrait of a person connected to the field of intention. So Abraham Maslow. Self-actualizing people must be what they can be. A person who lives in a state of unity with the source of all life doesn't look any different from ordinary folks. These people don't wear a halo or dress in special garments that announce their godlike qualities. That's interesting because in the other reading I picked up the garments. Did you got your attire on? It's like, it's not for others to recognise, it's for you to recognise. But when you notice that they go through life as the lucky ones, who seem to get all the breaks, and when you begin to talk to them, you realise how distinctive they are compared to people living at ordinary levels of awareness. Spend a few moments in conversation with these people who are connected to the power of intention, and you see how unique they are. These people, whom I call connectors, to signify their harmonious connection with the field of intention, are individuals who have made themselves available for success. It's impossible to get them to be pessimistic about achieving what they desire in their lives. Rather than using language that indicates that their desires may not materialise, they speak from an inner conviction that communicates their profound and simple knowing that the universal source supplies everything. They don't say, with my luck, things won't work out. Instead, you're much more likely to hear something like, I intend to create this, and I know it will work out. No matter how you might attempt to dissuade them by pointing out all the reasons why their optimism ought to be curtailed, they seem blissfully blind to reality check repercussions. It's almost as if they're in a different world, a world in which they can't hear the reasons why things won't work out. If you engage them in conversation about this idea, they simply say something like, I refuse to think about what can't happen because I'll attract exactly what I think about. So I only think about what I know will happen. It doesn't matter to them what's happened before. They don't relate to the concepts of failure or it's impossible. They simply, without fanfare, are unaffected by reasons for being pessimistic. They've made themselves available for success, and they know and trust in an invisible force that's all providing. They're so well connected to the all providing source that it's as if they have a natural aura preventing anything from getting through that might weaken their connection to the creative energy of the power of intention. Connectors don't place their thoughts on what they don't want because, as they tell you, the source of all can only respond to the source of all can only respond with what it is, and what it is infinite supply. It can't relate to scarcity or things not working out because it's none of these things. If I say to the source of all things, it probably won't work out, I'll receive back from it precisely what I sent to it, so I know better than to think anything other than what my source is. To the average person who has fears about the future, this all sounds like mumbo jumbo. They tell their connector friend to do a reality check and look realistically at the world they live in. But connectors aren't distracted from their inner knowing. They'll tell you, if you choose to listen, that this is a universe of energy and attraction, and that the reason so many people live lives of fear and scarcity is because they rely on their ego to fulfill their desires. It's simple, they tell you. Just connect to your source and be like your source, and your intentions will match up perfectly with the all-providing source. To connectors, it all seems so simple. Keep your thoughts on what you intend to create. Stay consistently matched up with the field of intention, and then watch for the clues that what you're summoning from the all-creative source is arriving in your life. Let me repeat that part. Stay consciously matched up with the field of intention, and then watch for the clues that what you're summoning from the all-creative source is arriving in your life. To a connector, there are simply no accidents. They perceive seemingly insignificant events as being orchestrated in perfect harmony. They believe in synchronicity and aren't surprised when the perfect person for a situation appears, or when someone they've been thinking about calls out of the blue, or when a book arrives unexpectedly in the mail, giving them the information they needed, or when the money to finance a project they've been intending mysteriously shows up. Connectors won't attempt to win you over to their point of view with debates. They know better than to place a lot of energy on arguing or being frustrated, because that attracts argumentation and frustration into their lives. They know what they know, and they aren't seduced into constructing a counterforce of resistance to people who live otherwise. They accept the idea that there are no accidents in a universe that has an invisible force of energy as its source that continuously creates and provides an infinite supply to all who wish to partake of it. They'll tell you plain and simple, if you inquire, All you have to do to tap into the power of intention is to be in a perfect match with the source of everything. And I'm choosing to be as closely aligned to that source as I can. To connectors, everything that shows up in their life is there because the power of intention intended it there. So they're always in a state of gratitude. They feel thankful for everything, even things that might seem to be obstacles. They have the ability and desire to see a temporary illness as a blessing, and they know in their heart that somewhere an opportunity exists in the setback, and that is what they look for in everything that shows up in their life. Through their thanks, they honour all possibilities rather than asking their source for something, because that seems to give power to what's missing. They commune with the source in a state of reverent gratitude for all that's present in their lives, knowing that this empowers their intention to manifest precisely what they need. Connectors describe themselves as living in a state of appreciation and bewilderment. You're unlikely to hear them complain about anything. They aren't fault finders. If it rains, they enjoy it, knowing that they won't get where they want to go if they only travel on sunny days. This is how they react to all of nature, with appreciative harmony. The snow, the wind, the sun, and the sounds of nature are all reminders to connectors that they're a part of the natural world. The air, regardless of its temperature or wind velocity, is the revered air that is the breath of life. Connectors appreciate the world and everything in it. The same connection that they experience with nature, they feel toward all beings, including those who lived before and those who have yet to arrive. They have a consciousness of the oneness, and therefore they make no distinctions such as them or those other people. To a connector, it is all we. If you could observe their inner world, you'll discover that they're hurt by pain inflicted on others. They don't have the concept of enemies, since they know that all of us emanate from the same divine source. They enjoy the differences in the appearance and customs of others rather than disliking, criticising, or feeling threatened by them. Their connection to others is of a spiritual nature, but they don't separate themselves spiritually from anyone regardless of where they might live or how different their appearances or customs may be from their own. In their heart, connectors feel an affinity to all of life, as well as to the source of all of life. It's because of this connecting link that connectors are so adept at attracting into their lives the cooperation and assistance of others in fulfilling their own intentions. The very fact of feeling connected means that in the connectors' minds, there's no one on this planet who they're not joined up with in a spiritual sense. Consequently, living in the field of intention, the entire system of life in the universe is available to access anything their attention is on, because they're already connected to this life-giving energy system and all of its creations. They appreciate this spiritual connection and expend no energy on depreciating or criticizing it. They never feel separated from the assistance that this entire life-giving system offers. Therefore, connectors aren't surprised when synchronicity or coincidence brings them the fruits of their intentions. They know in their hearts that those seemingly miraculous happenings were brought into their immediate life space because they were already connected to them. Ask connectors about it and they'll tell you. Of course, it's the law of attraction at work. Stay tuned vibrationally to the source of all life that intended you and everyone else here, and all the powers of that field of intention will cooperate with you to bring into your life what you desire. They know that this is how the universe works. Others may insist that connectors are just plain lucky, but the people who enjoy the power of intention know otherwise. They know that they can negotiate the presence of anything they place their attention on, as long as they stay consistent with the 7 faces of intention. Connectors don't brag about their good fortune, but are in a perpetual state of gratitude and radical humility. They understand how the universe works, and they stay blissfully in tune with it, rather than challenging or finding fault with it. Ask them about this, and they'll tell you that we're part of a dynamic energy system. Energy that moves faster, they explain, dissolves and nullifies slower moving energy. These people choose to be in harmony with the invisible spiritual energy. They've trained their thoughts to move at the levels of the higher vibrations, and consequently, they're able to deflect lower, slower vibrations. Connectors have an uplifting effect when they come into contact with people who are living in lower energy levels. Their peacefulness causes others to feel calm and assured, and they radiate an energy of serenity and peace. They're not interested in winning arguments or accumulating allies. Rather than trying to persuade you to think like they do, they're convincing through the energy they exude. People feel loved by connectors because they're merged with the source of all life, which is love. Connectors tell you without hesitation that they choose to feel good regardless of what's going on around them or how others might judge them. They know that feeling bad is a choice, and that it isn't useful for correcting unpleasant situations in the world. So they use their emotions as a guidance system to determine how attuned they are to the power of intention. If they feel bad in any way, they use this as an indicator that it's time to change their energy level so that it matches up with the peaceful, loving energy of the source. They repeat to themselves, "I want to feel good," and they bring their thoughts into harmony with this desire. Okay. If the world is at war, they're still opt. They're still up to feel good. If the economy takes a nosedive, they still want to feel good. If crime rates go up or hurricanes rage somewhere on the planet, they still choose to feel good. If you ask them why they don't feel bad when so many bad things are happening in the world, they'll smile and remind you that the world of spirit, from which all is intended, works in peace, love, harmony, kindness, and abundance, and that is where I choose to reside within myself. My feeling bad will only ensure that I attract more of feeling bad into my life. Connectors simply don't allow their well-being to be contingent on anything external to themselves, not the weather, not the wars someplace on the globe, not the political landscape, not the economy, and certainly not anyone else's decision to be low energy. They work with the field of intention, emulating what they know is the creative source of all. Connectors are always in touch with their infinite nature. Death is not something that they fear, and they'll tell you, if you ask, that they were never truly born, nor will they ever die. They see death as taking off a garment or moving from one room into another, merely a transition. They point to the invisible energy that intends everything into existence and see this as their true self. Because connectors always feel aligned to everyone and everything in the universe, they don't experience the feeling of being separate from anyone else or from what they'd like to attract into their lives. Their connection is invisible and non-material, but it's never doubted. Consequently, they rely on this inner, invisible spiritual energy that permeates all things. They live in harmony with spirit, never seeing themselves as separate. This awareness is key to their seeing the power of intention at work on a daily basis. You simply can't convince connectors that what they're intending won't materialise, because they trust in their connection to source energy so strongly. They'll invite you to choose which possibility you're going to identify with, and then encourage you to live as if it had already occurred. If you can't do it, and are stuck in worry, doubt and fear, they'll wish you well, but they'll continue what they call thinking from the end. They can see what it is they intend to manifest into their lives as if it already had materialised, and for them, because it's so real in their thoughts, it's their reality. They'll tell you forthrightly, my thoughts, when harmonised with the field of intention, are God's thoughts, and this is how I choose to think. You'll see if you follow them closely enough that they're exceptional at realising the fruits of their intentions. Connector people are exceptionally generous. It's as if what they want for themselves is dwarfed only by wanting it even more for other people. They take great pleasure in giving. Others may wonder how they ever accumulate anything for themselves, yet their lives are filled with abundance, and they seem to lack nothing that they desire. The secret to the power of intention, they'll tell you, is in thinking and acting the same as the all-providing source from which all originates. It's always providing, and I choose to be a provider too. The more I give of myself and all that flows to me, the more I see flowing back to me. Connectors are highly inspired people. They live more in spirit than in form. Consequently, they're inspired and inspiring, as opposed to informed and filled with information. These are people who have a strong sense of their own destiny. They know why they're here, and they know what they're more than. They know why. Hi, original darling. Hi, Lucy and everyone here. Happy Monday. Happy Monday. Just having a little breather. Connectors are highly inspired people. They live more in spirit than in form. So consequently, they're inspired and inspiring, as opposed to informed and filled with information. These are people who have a strong sense of their own destiny. They know why they're here, and they know that they're more than an encapsulated collection of bones, blood and organs in a skin and hair-covered body. They're all about living this purpose and choosing to avoid being distracted by the demands of the ego. They have great reverence for the world of spirit, and by communing with this source, they stay inspired. Hi Gal Gal. I thought I hadn't said hello to you on this video. I was just double checking. Hi Original Magic Monday for sure. Their level of energy is exceptionally high. It's an energy that defines them as connectors. It's the energy of the source, a fast vibrational frequency that brings love to the presence of hatred and converts that hatred to love. They bring a peaceful countenance to the presence of chaos and disharmony and convert the lower energies to the higher energy of peace. When you're around those who dwell in the field of intention, you'll feel energized, cleansed, healthier, and inspired. They have a noticeable absence of judgment towards others, and they aren't immobilized by the thoughts or actions of others. They often get labelled as aloof and distant because they don't gravitate towards small talk and gossip. They'll tell you that it is the spirit that gives life, and that everyone on this planet has this spirit within them as an all-powerful force for good. They believe it, they live it, and they inspire others. They'll even go so far as to tell you that the imbalances in the earth, such as earthquakes, volcanic eruptions, and extreme weather patterns, are the result of a collective imbalance in human consciousness. Let's repeat this. They'll even go so far as to tell you that imbalances in the earth, such as earthquakes, volcanic eruptions, and extreme weather patterns, are the result of a collective imbalance in human consciousness. They'll remind you that our bodies are made up of the same materials as the earth, that the fluid that comprises 98% of our blood was once ocean water, and that the minerals in our bones were components of the finite supply of minerals in the earth. They view themselves as one with the planet and feel a responsibility to stay in balanced harmony with the field of intention. I just lost my space, sorry. Whereabouts did I... There it is. Okay. They view themselves as one with the planet and feel a responsibility to stay in balanced harmony with the field of intention to help to stabilise and harmonise the forces of the universe that can get out of balance when we live from excessive ego. They'll tell you that all thoughts, feelings and emotions are vibrations, and that the frequency of these vibrations can create disturbances not only in ourselves but in everything that's made of the same materials. Connectors will encourage you to stay in vibrational harmony with Source out of a sense of responsibility to the entire planet, and they regard this as a vital function to emulate. This isn't something they think about and discuss from a purely intellectual perspective. It's what they feel deeply within themselves and live passionately every day. As you observe these connectors, you'll note that they don't dwell on illness or disease. They move through their life as if their body is in perfect health. They actually think and feel that any current disease pattern has never been present, and they believe that they're already healed. They believe that they attract the new outcome because they know that there are many possible outcomes for any given condition, even for a condition that may seem to others to be impossible to overcome. They'll tell you that the possibilities for healing outcomes are here and now, and the course that an illness would take is a matter of their own perspective. Just as they believe that external turbulent systems become peaceful in the presence of our peace, they see this as an opportunity. They see this as a possibility for internal turbulence. Ask them about their healing capabilities and they'll say, I'm already healed, and I think and feel from only this perspective. You'll often see your illnesses and physical complaints disappear when you're in the presence of exceptionally high energy connectors. Really important stuff. You'll often see your illnesses and physical complaints disappear when you're in the presence of exceptionally high energy connectors. Why? Because their high spiritual energy nullifies presence of connectors, makes you feel better because they exude and radiate joyful, appreciative energy. So too will your body heal by being in this kind of energy field. Connectors are aware of the need to avoid low energy. They quietly retreat from loud, bellicose, opinionated people, sending them a silent blessing and unobtrusively moving along. They don't spend time watching violent TV shows or reading accounts of atrocities and war statistics. They might appear docile or uninteresting to people who wallow in the horrors being discussed and broadcast. Since connectors have no need to win, to be right, or to dominate others, their power is the fact that they uplift others with their presence. Since connectors have no need to win, to be right, or to dominate others, their power is the fact that they uplift others with their presence. They communicate their views by being in harmony with the creative energy of the source. They're never offended because their ego isn't involved in their opinions. Connectors live their lives matched up vibrationally to the field of intention. To them, everything is energy. They know that being hostile, hateful, or even angry toward people who believe in and support low energy activities, which involve violence in any form, will only contribute to that kind of debilitating activity for the world. The connectors live. Let me just have it. Let me just wash down some words. The connectors live through higher, faster energy that allows them to access their intuitive powers readily. They have an inner knowing about what's coming. If you ask them about it, they'll tell you, I can't explain it, but I just know it because I feel it inside. Consequently, they're seldom confounded when the events they anticipate and intend to create manifest. Rather than being surprised, they actually expect things to work out. By staying so connected to source energy, they're able to activate their intuition and have insight into what is possible and how to go about achieving it. Their inner knowing allows them to be infinitely patient, and they're never dissatisfied with the speed or the manner in which their intentions are manifesting. Connectors frequently mirror the 7 phases of intention written about throughout the pages of this book. You'll see people who are extraordinarily creative, who have no need to fit in or to do things the way others expect them to do. Others expect them to. They apply their unique individuality to tasks, and they'll tell you that they can create anything that they place their attention and imagination on. Connectors are exceptionally kind and loving people. They know that harmonizing with source energy is replicating the kindness from which they originated. Yet it's not an effort for connectors to be kind. They're always grateful for what comes to them, and they know that kindness towards all of life and our planet is how to display gratitude. By being kind, others want to return the favour and become allies in helping them achieve their intentions. They associate with an unlimited number of people, all of whom are full of love, kindness, and generosity, assisting each other in fulfilling their desires. You'll also notice how connectors see the beauty in our world. They always find something to appreciate. They can get lost in the beauty of a starry night or a frog on a lily pad. They see beauty in children, and they find a natural radiance and splendour in the aged. They have no desire to judge anyone in low energy negative terms, and they know that the all-creating source brings only beauty into material form, and so it is always available. Connectors never know enough. They're inquisitive about life, and they're attracted to every manner of activity. They find something to enjoy in all fields of human and creative endeavours, and are always expanding their own horizons. This openness to everything and all possibilities, and this quality of always expanding, characterises their proficiency at manifesting their desires. They never say no to the universe. Whatever life sends them, they say, thank you, what can I learn, and how can I grow from what I'm receiving? They refuse to judge anyone or anything that the source offers them, and this always expanding attitude is what ultimately matches them up with source energy and opens up their life to receiving all that the source is willing to provide. They're an open door that's never closed to possibilities. This makes them totally receptive to the abundance that's always ceaselessly flowing. These 10% on the battery. These attitudes that you see in connector people are precisely the reason that these folks seem so lucky in life. When you're around them, you feel energized, purposeful, inspired, and unified. You're seeing people whom you want to hang around with because they energize you. And this brings you a feeling of empowerment. When you feel empowered and energized, you step into the flow of abundant source energy yourself. And you inadvertently invite others to do the same. The connection isn't just to source energy, it's to everyone else and everything in the universe. Connectors are aligned with the entire cosmos and every particle within the cosmos. This connection makes the infinite power of intention possible and available. These highly realized people think from the end, experiencing what they wish to intend before it shows up in material form. They use their feelings as a gauge to determine if they're synchronized with the power of intention. If they feel good, they know that they're in vibrational harmony with Source. If they feel bad, they use this indicator to adjust to higher energy levels. And finally, they act on these thoughts of intention and good feelings as if all that they desired were already here. If you ask them what you can do to make your desires come true, they unhesitatingly advise you to change the way you look at things, and the things you look at will change. I urge you to replicate their inner world and rejoice in the infinitely magnificent power of intention. It works. I guarantee it. 1 hour we've been on for again. That's like the norm, isn't it? It sure is. Okay, guys. There you have it. And I will share the Abraham Maslow video. A portrait of a person connected to the field of intention. Self-actualizing people must be what they can be. Abraham Maslow. I'll put a link in the description box to this video. I'm going to go and do that right now. And I will pop it onto the community tab as well. So if you are subscribed to the channel, it should appear in your feed. In your feed is good food for you. Okay, I'm going to go now. Take care, much love, have a fantastic day. Bye for now. I'm going to go. Crisscross will make you jump, jump.